It's actually been great. The Miller Park is obviously a great facility, and so we're actually utilizing the entire ballpark to avoid avoid as much inside gathering as we can. So we're kind of coming right in from the players' lot in the center field gate, going right into the concourse, getting checked in, tested, eating food on the concourse level itself before going inside of the clubhouse and spending as little time in the clubhouse as possible. So as far as the Brewers are going, it's an unbelievable transition. So that's been great. One concern that's risen up, you guys probably heard about, was the some testing delays and whatnot, getting the results back. So as long as we can get those things ironed out, certainly from the Brewers end, everything's gone seamlessly. But as an industry, if we can get those things ironed out, I feel confident that we can get this thing done. It's been pretty easy. I think we've had a total of 3 tests so far, all saliva tests, and the results we got back in time in the first round, and I think the second round too. So yeah, it's been kind of just saving up the spit, I guess, on the way to the park and making sure you have enough. Some guys it takes longer than others, but besides that, we had antibody tests when we first got in, so a little blood prick, but once you get one of those, you don't really need to test the antibodies again. So just been saliva tests and just kind of making sure you're doing the social distancing, wearing the masks inside at all times, especially in public, away from the field as well. So just making sure we have a good team code of conduct and that we're ready to get this thing, minimize our exposure as a team so we can get through the season healthy. Right. I guess one of the things is you get it out of your system so you don't feel the urge to do it on the mound or whatever. But we are all like in the concourse at separate tables, so we're far away from each other, making sure we're as sanitized as possible after we do it. We get all the spit out of our system when we first get there, so hopefully we don't have to break any rules on the field and in the clubhouse. But I think guys have been good so far, but I haven't seen anybody spit on the field, so far so good. Another thing when games start getting going, but so far really good on about the spitting. I think certainly for some guys it'll be an issue. I sometimes went to the mouth, but I normally go to my armpit. So that's normally where I get my moisture, I guess. Sounds weird to say, but so I think a lot of guys will have to make some kind of routine adjustment. I remember some guys put like water on their legs when I first came up, like on their pants, just to get some moisture going. So that might have to be an adjustment guys make, or some type of, I don't know, if they can get some water on the rosin out there or something, but just to get some moisture without going to the mouth will be a challenge for some guys. I think for me individually won't be as big of an issue because, like I said, I don't go to the mouth a whole lot, but it certainly is a consideration. Definitely. Yeah, it was encouraging results the first round for sure. So it's a good place to start. I know some guys gotten sick and hopefully they get better soon, and some guys are asymptomatic and all that, but hopefully all those guys recover and that we can stay at that low level of virus contagiousness, if you will. So hopefully we can stay there. But yeah, it was an encouraging sign. And as long as we get that, like I said, that testing ironed out, it's looking like it's a good start to this whole process. Good questions. Yeah, it was great having Hoogie there. He saw me several times throwing live. One time I actually went to a stadium right by his house, like a couple minutes away, so he could almost walk there, which was really cool. And it was great. He gave me some good advice, gave me some good things to work on the next week of throwing. And so yeah, such an advantage there. The sofa cushion is not back on the sofa. It's kind of recovering in its position up against the wall. Hopefully it's not collapsed by the time we get home. But I'm telling you, it held up pretty well. Granted, I don't throw that hard, so luckily it wasn't Ray Black or somebody firing missiles in that thing, so it maybe has a little longer lifespan. But it's still, as far as I know, it's still hanging in there. Yeah, it was awesome. I saw guys tearing up. I know I was tearing up a little bit. Just a really cool moment. Counts. That was great by him, and the wives did a great job of keeping it under wraps. I didn't know anything about it, so that was really cool, special surprise, and it really just reinforced kind of that, why we are here and why we're doing all these things to keep each other safe is really, because of our families as well. So cool, touching moment. I know a lot of guys meant a lot to them. So just reinforcing that connection too with our whole organization being a family was awesome. Yeah, he's been awesome. He's talked to guys individually about concerns they have, doing as much as he can to reinforce that we are doing everything we can to stay safe, so that in a couple of weeks when the season starts, we will be having baseball on the forefront, and just knowing that the other things are taken care of and that we're taking care of each other by doing them. So certainly in our opening meeting, it was a lot about commitments to each other, how we're going to behave off the field, our code of conduct, and how we're going to keep each other safe. So certainly he's approaching guys one by one, talking through concerns, talking through health things, and just really I wouldn't want anybody else heading this ship other than him. He's doing an awesome job. So yeah, baseball, the games will start in a couple weeks for sure, and we're definitely getting baseball on the forefront, but certainly a lot of guys still have want to make sure everything's in place before we start games, and he's doing a great job. I've been doing a lot, like kind of just air elbow bumps so far. It's going to be interesting when games start. We have a lot of guys that like to high five, like to do pregame, like little hug, pat hugs or whatever you want to call them. So it's certainly going to be a challenge, but I think we'll find creative ways around it, and we'll at the same point kind of have fun with it and also take care of each other. So definitely starting to trying to think of some air handshakes with the guys. I know we have a lot of them, so hopefully we can get creative with it. Definitely. Yeah, I think as it's gone on this summer, the more people I talk to, like at first they're like, yeah, I know distance somebody, distance someone. And now it's like more people are getting infected that people know that are in their inner circle. And like you said, a couple in our organization. So definitely praying for those guys, hoping they recover soon and that they can join us whenever it's safe and right. But yeah, it's definitely, the numbers are low to start, but certainly guys that are getting it, I hope and pray that they recover well and can fight it off well. So yeah, and other guys throughout the league and really everyone in the world fighting through this, it's can be nasty for certain people. So yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody with it. Yeah, that's definitely something. When I first heard of it, the baseball purists in me wanted to be like, no, it's kind of changing the game. But when I was doing my minor league rehabs last year and I saw it actually in place, and everyone was talking about how exciting it was, how much it quickened things up, because extra innings, everyone gets tired and it can drag on for a long time, and just that kind of extra adrenaline shot with the guy on second base. The more I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a real chance to. I think it could work. So. I think it's smart, definitely for this year, to not have the possibility as prevalent of going 15, 16, 17 innings by putting a guy out there. And certainly if I'm out there with the guy on second, I'm going to just treat him like it's one of my teammates' runs, like as if I'm coming into the game and trying to hold that guy. Certainly going to be an important run to hold off home plate. So just going to treat it like this guy's not going to score if I have anything. If I'm going to do everything in my power to not have that guy score. So yeah, it'll be a challenge, but something that we sign up for. Yeah. Certainly when I got or agreed to be the player rep, I was thinking, I'll get my feet wet this year, CBA year will get maybe a little more interesting. And then global pandemic hit and I was on calls, texting, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of thrown in the fire like a lot of people were with this virus. So it was definitely a good learning experience for me personally. And it was really interesting to get my teammates' thoughts and try to find the best way to communicate that on our calls, try to, find the best way to make sure our team's voices were being heard, both, in agreement and disagreement. So yeah, it was a lot of time spent, a lot of real, basically just hard work, making sure I do my best to lead the team and, voice the team's opinion. But yeah, certainly it was not something I was expecting going into the year, but glad I think I'm better for it. And hopefully I can be a good rep from here on out, better rep from here on out. Yeah, it feels like you said, it really does feel normal. We're doing, normal spring training drills, getting our normal throwing programs in, bullpens in, lives in. So, yeah, it's basically spring training, but even better because we're at Miller Park, which is just, an incredible facility. We have clubhouses right there to use, and all the weight rooms are awesome, and training staff and training rooms are awesome. So, Arizona facility is great, but I wouldn't mind having spring training here at Miller Park. It's awesome. It's really a good setup. And like you said, when we're out there, it's just, you're not even thinking about COVID really. The only reminder is that people, like coaches, all have to wear masks on the field. Players, we don't when we're, doing the work, but as soon as we're done with the work, we're putting on the mask. When we're in the clubhouse training room, we're putting on the mask. So that's the only real reminder that anything's different. But out in the sunshine and playing baseball, nope, can't beat it. Definitely, it's in the back of everyone's mind, I'd say. Certainly, seeing the Bucks news yesterday I was bummed for them. Hopefully, they can recover quickly and kind of get everything going in Orlando when the time comes. But yeah, just to know, we're in the same town, so we need to make sure all the more reminder to make sure we're distancing ourselves from people we don't know, or just keeping small groups, wearing the mask. All the more reminder that this thing is real and it's right around here. So got to make sure we're smart. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Everything, I guess a couple articles New England Journal of Medicine came out. It kind of, I haven't read the whole thing, but in debate, but as far as I'm concerned, all the government scientists, all the experts are saying masks can help prevent spread. And so for me, it's just a no-brainer to wear it. I think it might be some people discomfort of the mask, or just resistance to putting it on. It is kind of, especially if you're exercising, can be really intensify the workout. So I think it's kind of a comfort thing. But certainly as far as we're concerned, if it helps us 1%, 2% to help limit spread, it's a no-brainer to wear that thing. So yeah, for me, there's really no question. If they're telling me to wear it, it'll help prevent spread, I'm putting that thing on, type thing. Yeah, constant monitoring with the training staff. It's definitely been really, it's on everybody to make sure we're communicating with each other and being honest. And that's something Count said in our meeting, was pitchers, make sure you're completely honest with your recovery with us. If we have to take an extra day or two here, it's okay. But just make sure we're not doing anything to put the season in jeopardy by trying to rush it too soon or do something stupid here. So definitely I'm in constant communication with the training staff, getting in there, getting soft tissue, doing rotator cuff exercises, all kinds of breathing exercise and all that to make sure my recovery's there. But yeah, I think everyone's doing a great job of that so far. Everyone's getting their work in, and training staff is awesome, and they're doing a great job.